Coach, just a wild game tonight from start to finish, going into that overtime especially. How do you put this one into words?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a carbon copy the other day. I thought we lost focus in our offense in the second quarter. We just kind of didn't take the stuff that was there. Played a little too cute. They allowed them to tighten it up a little bit. Then we came out flat in the third. They hit 3 threes again, tightened the game up even further. And then, offensive, just the ball got sticky again. We just not trusting the ball movement in key moments.
Fast forward to when D'Lo was able to end regulation, tying it up. What happened on that play that Carl had the ball, looked kind of looking for somebody?
I mean, it was we were setting up to run 4-5 pick and roll at that point in time, so he did that, and then D'Lo squirted open on the wing, and they went one-on-one. So.
Chris, in overtime, what did you see offensively in terms of, I mean, it seemed like Cat had a couple of good looks, but then it really had a hard time getting better looks down the stretch there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple good looks, as you say. Missed a couple free throws there. I thought things were open on the slip. We missed it a couple times. We missed the big at one point at the nail. That was wide open. Literally just a little bit too much ball pounding early, and so.
In terms of their 3-point shooting, Clarkson, were they getting great looks or tough shots, or how did you evaluate just the defense on the perimeter there?
Yeah, I thought we could have been way tighter on them. They obviously wanted to spread us out, but they hit a couple tough ones. But I thought we just have to compete through those screens a little bit harder. I thought we died on some screens that gave them just enough separation. And then at the end of shot clocks, I got to know they're going to try to pull up on you, and we just got beat there. So.
In terms of the third quarter funks, the first two, do you see anything just in the approach just coming out of the gates, or? I
mean, it's honestly, it's too soon to tell what the personality of this team is really going to be right now. In those types of things, I didn't feel like there was any funk. It just kind of looked like a little bit flat, So.
Seems like 2 games in a row where not tight enough on the perimeter, where that's what you want to do with Rudy. You think that's just guys not getting it through their heads or laziness, or what do you think it is on that end?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, ball. Today was a lot of ball contain, and blow-bys, and when they were spreading us out and got some easy kickouts, and just not physical enough. We got to get into guys, and they got to feel us a little bit more, whether they're handling or whether they're trying to get through a screen. So.
Seemed like some of the best second-half basketball came from the reserves. Did you think about playing them more in the fourth, or did you just kind of think you just got to ride the starters and let them work it out?
I thought, I thought about going back to Jalen, but I thought we were getting enough out of the first unit there. So,
Chris, these first 2 games has been a handful of incomplete passes to Rudy on the low or on the roll or in the low post.
Yeah.
Do you attribute that to anything outside of just needing to get more time together?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a couple times there in the third quarter or whatever, fourth quarter, whatever period it was in the second half, we were trying to shovel it to him in tight spaces down and down low. That's probably not the best way to feed him.
Chris, Ant scores 30 points in regulation, doesn't attempt a shot in overtime. Do you think that's more of a function of, the ball just not finding him, or is there a situation there where you'd hope that Ant would kind of go up and demand the ball in a situation like that?
Yeah, I think it's, it's on me. I got to give him the ball more. We ran a couple things to get the ball in his hands. And then, again, the ball got sticky. We tried to get the play through Cat there. But, yeah, he's got to get some looks. That's on me.
Chris, you mentioned Jalen. How much trust do you have in him right now, especially with the way he's come out of these first two games? And when Malik was part of that trade, did you envision Jalen kind of stepping into those kind of minutes when he was traded away?
Well, I have a lot of trust in Jalen. We did. This was the pathway we were trying to create for him to be able to play a more meaningful and consistent role for us. And he's been playing well.
You mentioned the ball got sticky. How do you coach that out of them? What's the correction?
Yeah, that's, obviously, building trust. You just got to build trust and make the right play. And I think when we do run a set or we call someone's number at the moment, they feel that they got to make the play rather than the play that leads to the play, which is oftentimes how it is in those situations. So
the balance between rebound contest when Rudy's not getting the rebound and guarding the perimeter seems to be hard for the other four guys to figure out when to get to the boards and when to get outside. I mean, there seems to be a lot of no man's land when you guys are flailing. Is that scheme and just familiarity, or is that something that is court awareness? What do you think it is?
I think it's, honestly, I think it's just more want to. Just guys have got to go pursue the ball, whether it's cracking down on the help or whether it's flying around the perimeter. It's a lot of times guys are just standing and watching, and it's at that point it's too late, particularly for a team that's, crashing hard, and these guys got a bunch of guys who go.
Ball got sticky pretty consistently at the end of games last year as well. Yeah. At some point, is that just kind of guys' personalities and what they're going to do in those spots?
Well, let's hope not. We just kind of talked about that a little bit. That you got to get a lot of guys who want to be closers, but sometimes when you have talent, you got to let the game decide how it's going to unfold and close by making the simple play to the open man.
Chris, this game was so much more offensively dictated by Ant and D'Lo than the first game or that last preseason game. Was that a point of emphasis, or is a product of kind of the nature of how a bigger Utah team matches up?
No, we don't really. We certainly have points of emphasis coming into the game about how we want to play offensively, but we didn't make it a point that those two guys would be highlighted, if you will. We felt that Ant would be able to get to the rim pretty well tonight, and he did, and he finished pretty well.